Imagine your life feeling like a tiny boat tossed in a storm that never ends. That's the world of a woman who forces herself to head to work every single day. That night, surrounded by party decorations, she sat all alone, a celebration that should have been happy. Yet no one was by her side. Because quietly, the man she'd been waiting for had vanished without a single word. This is See You at Work, tomorrow, and the story is only just beginning. Meet Ji-yoon, a 7th-year employee at Seoul Electronics. Every morning, she pushes through an ocean of people for one thing: to keep going. That day, even the sky warned of a storm, but she went to work anyway. At the office, Ji-yoon has one legendary nickname, the Clockout Fairy. For her, happiness is simple: leaving right on time, then fried chicken and a cold beer. As for love, she'd just been ghosted, abandoned without any explanation. Her boyfriend, Noah, still sends sweet messages as if everything's fine, even though he suddenly quit his job to write a web novel, and their relationship is slowly falling apart. But is this seemingly safe routine really living, or is it quietly killing her? Then there's one name that makes the whole office hold its breath. They say he's the mastermind behind the task force with a 100% success rate. His nickname around the office, the 3-No Man. This is Kang Si-woo. Handsome, disciplined, a near-perfect life. But his words are sharp as a knife, cold and blunt. Above Ji-yoon sits young Sam, a boss who loves to abuse his authority. And that day, right in the middle of the storm, he threw Ji-yoon into a sudden mission. There's a crisis at the plant. The launch of their flagship product, the Sphere Ice Machine, is on the verge of collapse. The launch has to go ahead no matter what, came the pressure. And how do they get there? A helicopter. Right through a storm warning? It's here, up in the sky, that the two meet for the very first time. "Allow me to formally introduce myself," says the cold man. Airsick, Ji-yoon can barely respond. An awkward introduction, yet one that quietly plants a seed. But Si-woo's next words strike right at Ji-yoon's wound. Preparing to settle for second best from the very start? The words cut deep, because without realizing it, he had just touched Ji-yoon's past. Once, Ji-yoon was more than an office worker. She had dreams. She had fire. There was a courage in her that once felt unstoppable. But she kept waiting for an answer to that dream, an answer that never came, until at last she gave up and chose to just become the Clockout Fairy. Back in the present, office life keeps grinding on. Her co-workers are busy chattering about weddings and blind dates. Even Si-woo gets gossiped about, spotted on a blind date over lunch. Strangely, Ji-yoon is the one who's annoyed. Why would you go on a blind date near my office? Meanwhile, her relationship with Noah keeps crumbling. And the pressure peaks in the Sphere Ice product presentation. Under the gaze of the entire room, Ji-yoon's composure is tested to its limits. That night, drained of every ounce of energy, she waits for the bus alone. Yet her mind is filled with just one person, the cold boss who snapped at her earlier. Without meaning to, her fingers start typing a message to Kang Si-woo. Then Si-woo takes her to a small bar run by a friend of his. And outside the office, the man seems like someone completely different. For the first time, the wall between them begins to crumble. That night, Ji-yoon pours out everything, the dreams she'd long buried. And on that very night, her relationship with Noah truly comes to an end. She drinks harder and harder, as if trying to drown all her regrets. But somewhere in that night, Ji-yoon realizes something about her boss, a hidden side of Si-woo she'd never suspected. What exactly is that secret? Hold on, Nara, because the biggest surprise comes next. Because Si-woo arrives with an offer she never saw coming. To join his team, a choice between her career and her heart. Accepting means being bound to the most feared man in the company. Refusing means going back to the same old cycle that's slowly killing her. And this is the decision that will carry Ji-yoon into a whole new chapter of her life. She doesn't choose Si-woo out of love. She chooses the least bad to avoid the worst. But it's from that realistic choice that two broken souls begin to hold each other up. Sometimes we don't need the perfect job or a grand romance. Just one person who makes us say, "All right, I'll head to work again tomorrow." Curious about Si-woo's secret and Ji-yoon's answer? This is only the beginning. See you in the next story.